everybody knows Kris Wang. She's been on the vice mayor in 2006, on the council since 2003, and is our illustrious mayor in 2007. She has graduate studies in computer science, an MBA in business management, and in business statistics as well. She's worked for companies that we would all know about here in Cupertino and the Valley: Portal Software, Visa, Sun Microsystems, and Hewlett-Packard. Perhaps more is her chair, Community Services. She is the chair of the Santa Clara County Parks and Recreation Commission. She has been the former chair of the Cupertino Parks and Recreation Commission. She has been on the Fremont Union High School District Community Committee and the Monta Vista Modernization Committee and School Site Council. So Kris and her husband, Gene, have lived in Cupertino for 18 years, and they have 2 sons, and I'm sure that all of them are here today. And Kris, without further pausing, we would love to have you come give us your State of the City address. Kris Wang.
Thanks, Scott. Well, before I started, somebody handed me a note that we have another dignitary guest here. Is hometown, the board of trustee from Fremont Union High School District. Good afternoon. Well, thank you for joining me here today as we celebrate another great year for the city of Cupertino. As a mayor of the Cupertino, I have been given this privilege today to tell you all the wonderful success we have had in the past year and giving you a status report on all the great things happening in 2007. If anyone have any problem left over from 2006, consult with Breacher. As we have seen earlier that we are served by many outstanding people here in the city. Let's please give them another round of applause for them. In addition, I would like to recognize the service that many Cupertino citizens have given to our nation, both here in the state and abroad. And I know there's a group of community members putting together a veteran memorial this year. Cupertino is a destination for many people, and our community is very fortunate to benefit from the efforts, energies, and innovations of many generations of natives as well as immigrants who have come to call our city home. The city clearly fosters the American dream, and many of our citizens today can attest to that. I know Cupertino has been very kind to me. Little did I imagine 27 years ago when I first came to the United States and then to Cupertino that I will be here today as your mayor giving the state of the city. This was me 25 years ago. And more recently with my husband, Gene, and our 2 sons, Shanko and Sherman. This afternoon, I stand before you to say that in Cupertino, we have a lot to be proud of. For one, we have a new company in town. It is a personal electronics company, big in home entertainment, and also makes computers. Their CEO recently dropped into a city council meeting to announce they are going to build a new 50-acre campus in Cupertino. I think you may have heard of them, Apple Inc. Apple told the world they are going to expand right here where they started. And that's just one company demonstrating their confidence in our city. There are many others, including HP, Symantec, NetManage, Acorn Campus, and Borland. The list goes on. And HP and Apple continue to be our top tech producers. Insight is a top new company moving into Cupertino. Cupertino currently have a population of 55,000 people, averaging a 1.4 annual growth rate since 2001. This also represents more than 1% of the increase in housing. Public safety has always been our #1 priority. And thanks to our sheriffs, I can tell you that Cupertino is a safer place today than it was 4 years ago. The reported crime rate has dropped from 3.1% in 2002 to 2.6% in 2006. That represents 219 fewer reported cases. 28 officers are assigned to the city in 2006 and 2007, compared with only 26 last year. This reflects a 7.5% step increase on a law enforcement budget that has only gone up 5%. Per capita, the average cost for our public safety has only increased 4.5% from $110 in 2002 to $115 in 2006, almost 3 times slower than the price inflation over the same period. If you look at it, Cupertino is a growing community in which it is actually becoming cheaper to keep us safe. Well, actually, according to the decreased crime rate, not just safe, but much safer. And that is a testament to the great citizens of our community and the efficiency of our public safety officers who have made it so. We're very happy to continue the tradition of excellence that the Sheriff's Office has provided over the years. This year, we continue under the leadership of our new police chief, Captain Terry Calderon. Terry, would you please stand up again? And we continue to have excellent public safety personnel. As we mentioned earlier, Dennis Bacon is now undersheriff, and John Hirakawa was promoted to commander last year. I'm sure it's just a matter of time before Captain Calderon is promoted. But in the meantime, we expect great things. Cupertino have that effect on people. We also have a new fire department chief. Although Chief Lopes recently retired, we're very pleased with the level of service provided by the Santa Clara County Fire District, and would like to recognize the outstanding staff of the department, as well as the new chief, Ken Wabogo. Ken, please stand up. Glad that. As for revenue, our budget is balanced, and our financial status remains strong. We have generated $2 million in surplus over the budget this fiscal year so far. Thanks to the leadership of our state legislators and enormous efforts of our own council members, Richard Lowenthal and Dolly Sandoval, we have recently secured an additional $1.35 million for the city. This money will go towards growing general city services that make Cupertino the wonderful city that it is. Our general fund expenditures were also $2.5 million below budget. This has allowed us to have a $4.5 million surplus in 2006. I'm proud to say that we have now have surpluses from the last 3 years after facing deficits in 2001 to 2004, and I'm confident that we can continue this trend of surpluses. Even though our financial status remains healthy, we need to ensure that city services can continue to be fully supported by our revenue collected. Hence, we have developed a long-term fiscal strategic plan to help us address this challenge. This plan defines the potential problem, analyze our city's organizational structure, and identify areas where expenses can be reduced and revenue stabilized. Everything is on the table. This must be done to continue to ensure that services get delivered to our residents, businesses, and partners. Education remains Cupertino's strongest endeavor. Our school continues to be recognized as some of the best in the nation. Thanks to our teachers and children, I believe our success is due in large part to the talented parents of our community, as well as the leadership that works behind the scenes at our schools. Our elementary and high school districts have now completed their transition to new leadership under Phil Kwong and Phil Ball. In terms of the partnership among the school districts, the city will continue to fund the school resources officers and crossing guards, as well as support the teacher housing and the juvenile prevention program. It is always risky to make predictions, but I'm going to venture a guess that our children are also an enormous part in helping our library, averaging 3,000 checkout items per hour. It is without any doubt that Cupertino fosters an incredible environment of intellectual curiosity and discovery. The council has authorized council member Richard Lowenthal to work with the Santa Clara Library Board in finding a way to allow our library to stay open every day of the week, or remain open for 6 days but with extended hours. Major factors here is the cost, as keeping it open 7 days a week is nearly 3 times more costly than the 6 days option. In Cupertino, we are a town full of innovative people. Behind our successful schools are innovative educators. Behind our world-class businesses are entrepreneurs. However, our city has the opportunity and thus priority to magnify the benefits of having innovative people by creating more connections and ways for us to interact and get to know each other. Innovation is amplified by interaction, and so Cupertino continues to support outstanding award-winning programs for our neighbors to get to know one another. Communication with our community continues to improve. Our Neighborhood Watch program has gone from 86 groups last year to 103 now, representing 215 residential streets. Our ECAP program has nearly 1,500 subscribers who receive regular announcements about public safety. We have our Block Leader program with over 200 leaders. And we have just started a new series of events in 2007 for the Block Leader program called the Community Builder Speakers Series that brings in world-class speakers to teach principles of community responsibility and engagement. Early this month, we held our first speaker series at our annual Block Leader Recognition Night. The keynote speaker, Dr. John McKnight, shared lessons from successful community building initiatives across the nation and offered ideas on how we can continue our journey of asset-based development by turning to neighbors, local citizens associations, and institutions to build a strong community. Our community emergency response team continue to provide disaster preparedness classes such as first aid, earthquake preparedness, and CPR, and all for free. If you have not taken any of these classes, I encourage you to do so. We're also expanding our e-services. Now our city government can continue its effort toward transparency to the public, as well as delivering greater services with improved efficiencies. Through Cupertino.org, residents now have online access to city government and city happenings in a way never done before. From getting business licenses, registering for the recreation classes, viewing the development, economic development, and watching city council meetings. And even more services are in process, such as online permits, reserving golf course tee times, and sports center tennis court reservations. My kids told me that YouTube and MySpace have created tremendous community online, and it feels sometimes that everything can be done online these days. But I personally believe that community building should be more personal. And this year, we will implement 2 new community programs offline. The first one is called Community Improvement Grant. This will allow neighbors to jumpstart ideas that will help building community block by block and street by street. Grants up to $300 available to increase interaction and sense of a community among neighbors, improve the physical condition of a neighborhood, and enhance neighborhood pride and identity. Another new program is Cupertino Beautification Program that I'm proud to announce. Beautifying our major corridors like Stevens Creek Boulevard and De Anza Boulevard, as well as public places and parks, not only revitalized the city, but creates a character and a sense of a pride for our community. We're looking for volunteers and members from different segments of our community to interact and coordinate this program. The first phases of this project will concentrating along Stevens Creek around our senior center and Memorial Park, as well as beautified trail along Lawrence Expressway. If you loved outdoor gardening, come on down and sign up. There's a sheet on each table. In addition to create an interactive community, Cupertino must also continue to adopt the concept of being a green city. With California becoming a leader in setting environmental standards, our city cannot afford to fall behind. Just as our community has been a pioneer and leaders of great education, safety, and commerce, we must become stewards of our environment. According to the U.S. Green Building Council, buildings in the United States account for 36% of total energy use, from greenhouse gas emissions to raw material use and waste output. These figures translate into environmental costs and business costs, the costs that are borne by all of us, including homeowners and governmental agencies, small business owners, and large companies. Not to mention global warming is a tremendous problem that we need to tackle. We need to reduce the cost of installing practical, environment-friendly solutions such as solar arrays and demand green building principles where it makes sense. The city will collaborating with other communities to study how to encourage residential solar installation. It is precisely this sort of innovative neighborhood-based program that has been the hallmark of Cupertino and the hallmark of our programs for the year to come. As a suburban city, we value our parks. They're symbols of Cupertino's desire to be interacting outdoors and staying active. We have many throughout the city and are even now working to develop more. In the Rancho Reconado area, we have proposed 2 projects in our 2007 work plan. The first is to work with the Santa Clara County Road and Airport Department and the San Jose Water Company in acquiring the land necessary to complete a landing park. We're pursuing this 1-acre San Jose Water Company parcel, which will intend to swap with the land owned by the county's Roads and Airport Department, so that Creekside parcel can be freed up for park development and an extension of the San Tomas Aquino Trail. If completed, the city will look for grant opportunities to develop a park along the trail. The other project is a park in the Rancho Reconado neighborhood. Similarly, we are pursuing the acquisition of the Sterling and Barham parcel from San Jose Water Company for neighborhood park development. Our goal is to commence work on the park for the Rancho Reconado area, which we feel is long overdue. The Homestead neighborhood is another area which currently doesn't have a neighborhood park within a half-mile walking distance. We're working with potential developers of the Villa Serac project to provide a neighborhood park there. One of the biggest projects that we're looking forward to is the Stevens Creek Corridor Park. After 30 years of acquiring properties in the area, the city has kept it open part of the year as pay-for-use park. Now, with millions of dollars in grant, we want to restore this environment of the area and create the city's largest public park. We are reinventing Blackberry Farm and Stevens Creek Corridor to become an even better park with new trails for our residents to enjoy and stay active. This project won't be easy, but it will be a remarkable restoration of the historical heart of our community. When finished, Stevens Creek Park will be open all year round for all residents. In addition to park restoration, I would like to mention a piece of historical preservation at one of Cupertino's oldest standing structures in our city today, the Nathan Hawk Tank House, near the Blackberry Golf Course. In 2007, the city will be working to recover, renovate, restore, and redecorate this historical landmark. I wanted to thank the Byron Avenue Homeowners Association for dedicating land and neighbor Terry Brown and his son for replacing the roof at no cost. The Cupertino Rotary has chosen the Tank House project to be its 2007 golf tournament beneficiary, and the Cupertino Historical Society is also providing support. I spoke earlier of the importance of allowing Cupertino citizens to interact. I also speak to the importance of Cupertino pioneering the green building concept. Well, one phenomenal project we have ahead for us is the Mary Avenue footbridge, which is currently under construction and expected to be completed in early 2008. The bridge will connect the two sides of an existing walking path over an interstate freeway, allow the people of Cupertino to leave their cars at home so that they can run, walk, and bike safely and conveniently from one side to the other. Because the project is the first of its kind, there's some extraordinary requirements for design and interagency coordination. For example, extensive structural wind load evaluation are required, including active wind tunnel tests of a model structure. This is so that our pedestrians and bicyclists feel safe and comfortable in all wind conditions. In addition, a series of computer models are being studied for earthquake analysis. The bridge is designed to prevent collapse or injury. With the Mary Avenue footbridge, Cupertino is constructing a unique symbol that shows its commitment to healthy activities. On the topic of getting people one place to another, an area that I intend on committing more of our government's time and energy is finding solution to the increasing traffic congestion within our city, especially near and around our schools. It's a matter of safety for our children and nearby residents. Whether this means school buses or better public transportation, my hope is that our city opens its eyes towards the problems that necessary solution to help traffic flow better and hence increase the public safety. Now, after a lot of discussion on how our city government is moving forward for Cupertino, I would like to touch on economic development. It is evident that as Cupertino continues to evolve into a better place to live with more parks, stronger education, and increased public safety, both the quality and the quantity of these services must evolve in tandem so that we can continue to live in such a wonderful place. City services, however, are directly related to the economic vitality of our city. We cannot have one without the other. The solution and challenge is to find where the balance is in our community. Economic development cannot be pursued at the expense of neighborhoods. However, economic development generates the necessary city revenue that we can then use to give back to our neighborhoods. Again, finding a balance of give and take has always been, and presumably will continue to be, one of the trickiest parts for local government. In this give and take, our council has recognized the importance of bringing in relevant commerce back into Cupertino. And as a result, we approved 103,000 more square feet of retail space in the last year. This includes all the Whole Foods market and marketplace. And altogether, we now have approximately 3.6 million square feet of retail space, with Velco Fashion Mall represents 1/3 of all retail space currently in the city. The election made it apparent that many of Cupertino's citizens have different opinions concerning Velco and other areas of city development. It is my hope, however, that we can all realize that whether we give or take, the point is that we are together moving toward what hopefully represents a better Cupertino. As an update, here are some of the major developments going on. The Strike Bowling Center, the California Pizza Kitchen, Island Restaurant, and AMC Theaters, and more are moving into Velco. Chuck E. Cheese has just opened where Blockbuster used to be. And a new high-end supermarket department store, and a new high-end classic restaurant, and a new lifestyle fast food restaurant are reportedly moving into the new building in Marketplace. And last but not least, Whole Foods is set to open one of their biggest stores near De Anza College. True, to some, it's quite daunting, while to others, it is quite exciting. Nevertheless, what we can all take from this is a new place to bring our children to play, new restaurant to try, new cafes to sit and chat, a new theater to watch Hollywood's best. And not to mention, one of the world's largest organic supermarkets to get happily lost in. And I told my husband that if he can't find me at home for a couple of days, it's probably because I haven't made it past through the organic dairy section in Whole Foods. While economic development has been a big part of Cupertino in the last several years, it is my hope that we do not forget its major purpose to allow us to continue providing the best of the service for the people of Cupertino. Everywhere I go, I'm reminded that the people and the neighborhoods are at the core of Cupertino. It is our residents, families, neighbors, and friends that make up this community, that drive this community. It is so wonderful to be a part of a community where the people take so much pride in the city, where citizens not only take interest in how the city is shaped, but also take action and get involved. This defines the greatness of our city. And I would like to say thank you to thousands of volunteers who make a lot of Cupertino's improvements possible. Rotary, Chamber and its volunteers, our commission and committee members, block leaders, Friend of the Library, Senior Center volunteers, Quota, Cupertino Historical Society folks, Cupertino Community Service volunteers, Lions Club, Optimist Club, school volunteers, and hundreds of others who dedicate their time and efforts toward making Cupertino a better place to live. With all the increases in services, parks, and economic developments that I have reported today, people often have the impression that our city must have 1,000 employees to make it all happen. But Cupertino has made it happen with a group of 143 employees. It's a number that has remained constant for the last several years in spite of our increase in population. As you can tell, Cupertino's city staff is highly capable and efficient. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor to introduce to you our city manager, Dave Knapp, Executive Assistant Linda Lagerin, City Attorney Chuck Killing, and Administration Services Director Carol Atwood, Community Development Director Steve Piasecki, Park and Recreation Director Tree Smith, Public Works Director Rolf Quoles, our City Clerk Kim Smith, and last but not least, our Public Communication Manager Rick Kisson and his whole team. We have P, Ray, Robert, Needy, who are always working behind the scenes. In addition to the city's top-notch employees, I would also like to thank each of my council colleagues. Vice Mayor Patrick Quah, Council members Richard Lowenthal, Dolly Sandoval, Oren Mahoney. Together, we can accomplish a lot of things for the city we love. Now, I'd like to conclude today's State of the City by saying what has hopefully been evident throughout the entirety of my speech. Cupertino is a wonderful place to live. The people are innovative and diverse. Commerce is thriving. Crime rates are down, and the city is financially sound. Our schools, our library, and our parks are considered among the best in the nation. And your local government, as always, is dedicated toward improving citywide services and creating new programs for residents to interact and be proud of their community. With the city's wonderful staff and future of Cupertino continue to be bright. My fellow residents, the state of our city is strong. Again, thank you for coming and thank you for listening.